Miss Swift.
In front of you,
Taylor, straight ahead. Taylor, can we see the front? Taylor, the front of the outfit. Taylor, looking right here.
Fireworks, flares, lighters, and laser pointers are always prohibited. Air horns, drones, projectiles of any kind. Smoking and smoking. This includes the use of e-cigarettes. Firearms, knives, explosives, fireworks, flares, lighters, and laser pointers.
Yes, there's it's got like writing on the side too. We're so excited!
I'm teaching the course English Literature Taylor's Version, in which we look at Taylor Swift songs alongside texts from English literature, mostly historical literature. So we go from the 10th century through to around the 19th century, with a couple of bonus texts from the 20th century. I had the idea for the course actually last year in the autumn, when Taylor Swift released the album Midnights. And on Midnights, she has a song called The Great War. And in The Great War, she talks about a relationship, and she uses the symbolism and the iconography of the First World War to talk about a relationship, a difficult relationship trauma. And I started thinking about comparisons we could make between that text and other poems, for example, Sylvia Plath's poem Daddy, where she uses the symbolism of the Holocaust to talk about her relationship with her father. And so I started thinking about literature and trauma and memory, and how we can use literature to start some really important conversations about these topics. And I thought, I want to hear what my students have to say about this, so the classroom could be a really good space for that conversation. The reason I chose Taylor Swift is a kind of personal one. I have a kind of I'm a long-standing Swiftie. I've been a fan of hers for a long time. But I think also she does invite a lot of comparisons with English literature in her work. So she makes a lot of references to texts from English literature, particular titles, particular phrases. She's very conscious of herself as a kind of literary or a literary influenced artist. And so I think it's actually a natural comparison to make. But yes, you could do this with other artists, but I know Swift's work better than I know other music, and that for me, teach what you know, and that is what I'm doing. There's been a really good response from students, actually not just students within Belgium, but students from all over the world. I've had lots of emails from students, like school-age students, through to university students, students who are not students anymore, but actually have finished studying, who wanted to go back to university. So it's been really positive. There are a lot of excited students out there, which is really great, because that's what I'm trying to do, is to get people excited about literature. That's where the magic happens, okay? And where all the important messages and admin and that kind of thing gets sent. I think it is really important that literature remains fresh, and we give students new perspectives, because it's a living thing, and its reception changes all the time. So why not compare it with a modern artist? As bold as possible, please. It's anonymous, so you can write whatever you want, whatever you feel. You can also, I think you can also like each other's responses. Put your name on the list, let me know. We will be running until around 5:15. We will have
One of the reasons I chose this class is also because I had the feeling we learned a lot of interesting things about literature, but they were all from the past. And yeah, I would like some sort of connection with the present, and I think this class will help with that. So I think it's really good that people of my age see that it's still important today.
Didn't know it was a Taylor Swift course. In which case,
When I listen to All Too Well or other lyrics, sometimes I think like, well, it's just like a poem, or there's like a song, The Lakes, and there she literally says something like words, words, and it's like she's referring to Wordsworth, a very famous poet. So I think this course will be very interesting because I think there will be a lot to discuss.
If I was inspired to write it after reading Charlotte Bronte, nonsense, or after watching a movie where everyone is wearing poet shirts and corsets. I'm not sure what a poet shirt is. Is that an American thing? I don't know. What else can we do on a Monday afternoon? Probably quite a lot, actually.
I chose this course because I think in general people think of literature and linguistics and especially like the classic books as hard to obtain and hard to relate to, and I think Taylor Swift is one of our most popular artists of our modern day, and this way it might be easier for people to learn to relate to literature more and not see it as this really big thing and complicated thing to understand, while it could teach you so much more.
We're in a much smaller group. So enjoy the space, spread out, it's very luxurious, but we'll be back in the normal classroom next week.